Top left side, a blue Protoss representing the Africa Freaks. He is stats. Top of his list to kill is this bottom right side Terran. In the red, innovation. That's a close cut. That's a close one. Just barely missed it. Lovely. Looks like pretty standard openings here for both players so far. Stats opting to make everything on the high ground. And it's all fair and well. All good. Innovation here. Also building everything up on his own high ground as well. Again, a Reaper Scout will be coming out here for innovation. Bit of a look around with the SEV. SEV actually commits into the main base here. He's very curious about what's going on there. Alright, it's most likely because he wants to grab a third base. Oh no, wait, actually, that is not a third base, that's still his natural. He's building his natural at his main base. Is he trying to keep it hidden? Guess he's trying to keep it hidden, guys. Does go for the factory after this. Very peculiar. I suppose stats didn't quite see anything here, right? He didn't go for any scouting whatsoever. At this point in time, the first scouting he's going to be doing is probably going to be with the Adept. Right, the first Adept should be coming across the map here pretty soon. This Shade is going to chase the Reaper a little bit, maybe get one shot, and then I would imagine the Adept is just going to go across the map here. As he's still completely in the dark. To be fair, innovation. He's playing something weird, but it's still standard, right? He's just building it all safely tucked behind two supply depots so it doesn't get scouted. But he's still playing standard, but this kind of mind game-esque situation that he's doing doesn't really work if his opponent doesn't scout him, right? His opponent doesn't get worried about him doing something because he made two supply depots to wall off his scout if he doesn't scout. He's just not trying to scout at all. So yeah, two barracks here following up with the Tech Lab factory making a cyclone right now. Stats going for his own sneakery. Will add a Dark Shrine into the mix with a Robo facility also to facilitate the Wob Prism. Most likely, Reaper may have a chance to get into the main base here. Is he going to be able to get the good scout? Oh, this is brilliant. That is absolutely fantastic. Has managed to see everything. And that is a worthwhile spent Reaper. Let's hope Innovation was watching as he went in with that. Of course he was, guys. Of course he was. That's a mistake I would make. I just send in the Reaper and I'm like, alright, I'll go scout. Oh, wait, I gotta make SCVs, right? And then get distracted. Oh, right, safety bunker, very important. What happened to my Reaper? Oh, it's dead. Oh, what did I see? I think pylons, mostly pylons being warped in here, it seems. Not entirely certain. Anyway, oh, this could be a very good catch. Warp Prism needs to find himself some high ground, doesn't get it as the scan reveals, and down falls the Warp Prism. Already getting scouted with the Reaper there, the Dark Templars did, and now even having their arrival be delayed significantly with the Cyclone coming out aggressively on the map. Very cool stuff there for Innovation, finding the best way to kind of deal with this situation as he's now just adding in more and more units. He's got his missile turrets up. Should be absolutely fine. As fine as one can be against the Dark Templar here. I mean, there's 3 of them coming in. But it's probably not 3 of them coming out. Unless if they somehow manage to avoid this entire Terran army, of course. That would be quite something. Oh, again, another catch and another War Prism. Is this gonna be... Okay. That one does get saved. Dark Templars on top of these infantry units. Scan does come in. Innovation bringing along the pain train. The freight train is out for death and destruction. Innovation needs to continue using scans here. Even gonna get wrap himself a missile turret, so his backline will be a little bit safer against those Dark Templars. Needs to do another scan right here. Oh, good fire onto the cluster of small gateway forces. We do not have another scan, I believe. The missile turret is about to finish up, but nice, good shot onto the SCV producing it. Yeah, it does not look like it will be completed, but another scan does come in, but that is already after the siege tanks are gone. Doesn't matter though. Stats is out. GG is called. Innovation takes game number 1. Innovation grabbing himself the first victory here right off the bat. Quite quickly setting up the tempo of this series here. Quite decisively with that timing attack. I don't even think he ever made a 3rd CC at any point in time. This is the strategy that granted him his success before as well, right? These 2 base timing attacks. Very, very aggressive. Being able to just drill into whatever the Protoss had at that moment in time. Which was usually Protoss trying to grab 3 bases, trying to grab some tech, trying to still be safe, trying to, you know, grab shield batteries in the mineral lines and all this stuff. And suddenly, sometimes, you know, you just don't have enough anymore. Shield battery overcharge made it very difficult for Innovation to kind of execute those types of plans, but it looks like he is getting more and more of a grasp on how to do it anyway. Or perhaps maybe some of the Protoss getting a little bit more lax with their spending, being a bit more greedy because they feel like they can get away with more having the shield battery overcharge, and then coming to find that suddenly those attacks of Innovation will still hurt quite a bit if you do add in those extra couple of probes, or if you do add in those extra couple of tech buildings, right? Here we go. One point behind the blue Protoss from the Afrika Freaks. Stats. Top left side, the red Terran player fighting for the Kaisi Gamers. First point in his favor. Innovation. Alright. Again, it was a very, very aggressive Innovation we saw. Feels like it's becoming a more rare and rare thing for us to see a capable Innovation in the very extreme late games. Might be that he's just spending less time practicing that side of the game at these moments. It does take a lot of time, and after all, he's pretty darn good at those timing attacks anyway, so if you do manage to stay on top as he's doing with these sorts of timing attacks, then you know what? Good on you. Good on you, buddy. Again, going for the supply depot block here is Innovation. I mean, again, stats just not interested at all in what is happening on Innovation side of the map, though. Maybe Innovation is going to start picking up on this and stop doing the quick second supply depot here. Oh, I see. I see. Innovation. You know what? He's bringing some brains into this game overall, I'd say, or in this series, right? That's pretty cool. He came in with a plan, it seems. Alright. So you know how in a best of 7, there's this thing that they always say, is like you don't just play each game individually, you play the entire series. I feel like that's kind of what Innovation is going for here in a sense, right? First game, he thought, alright, let me just do the supply depot wall and then still go standard. If he then sees that, and then sees it in game number 2 again, after I will go for the quicker factory instead, and we'll get ourselves a bit earlier aggression. And hopefully he will just assume that I'm doing the same thing as I was doing the previous time. Bit of mind games right there. Innovation, will it pay off for him as stats again, not really scouting. It's always fun. Could just be innovation mixing it up a little bit as well without really giving it too much of a thought about, you know, trying to mind game stats here, but still pretty cool. It's wouldn't be a weird thing for a StarCraft 2 player to do, right? Or to consider. That's starting up the Blink upgrade as he's grabbing the Robo as well. Let's wait and see how many gateways we're going to get added onto this. With the 2 gateways, we're just going to go grab a quick 3rd base, of course. And with more, then we're going to try to get a bit aggressive with the Stalkers. And we'll see if it's a 3 gate or a 4 gate. Blink Stalker aggression. But yeah, at this moment in time, we're still wondering if it will be aggressive Blink to begin with. I know that Stats likes to do the 2 gates kind of playstyle. It's more defensive in a way, right? You're not really going across, you're just grabbing yourself that quicker nexus, and it's going to have to do the trick here. 3 Hellions coming into the natural base as the Marines pull all the attention onto the front. The Hellions here, they will one-shot the probes, but they need to line up the probes here quite nicely. Stats, his splitting has been quite impressive. A little bit messing up there. Might take a couple more probes than he otherwise would have, but 7 probes in total there. A respectable amount of damage still being done by Innovation as Stats not quite being able to shut it down in its entirety. Faltering a little bit there in the end. I mean, maybe still costing him 3 or 2 extra probes. May not seem like that much in comparison, right? If you're losing, how many did he lose? 7. But it is, right? 3 is like, what, 50% of the losses negated? Or near 50%? 40-something? So the Blink Stalkers here are poking in a little bit. They're not really being aggressive though. They're not trying to snipe any units. Feel like they're more there as a presence, trying to figure out what Innovation is up to, what his production is looking like, how many bases does he have, this sort of thing. It's just kind of trying to be deciphered. When is he coming across the map, all this sorts of stuff. Of course, then if he is, will I be able to pick off maybe some of the front Marines or Marauders? But yeah, this all is keeping Innovation honest. Going for a drop right now, very likely to just immediately be picked up onto by Stats and jumped into as well. The Raven kind of sticking at home as well also. Alright, look at that. Seeing the Raven go to the right. Where do the Stalkers go? Move to intercept. Yeah. Very well done there by Stats. Keeping a close eye out for that Raven. Maybe Innovation moving along the other side now, though. Nah, it's just keeping the Raven inside his own base. Together with the attack. It's the way I like to see it. We do have Storm instead of Colossus here, though, for Stats. Now, normally I don't know, I see Colossi usually be a little bit more efficient in this type of scenario, but I don't know. I have seen Storm also be effective, but feels like it's a bit tougher to pull off. As right now, if you do have those Colossi, of course, they will get Interference Matrix, which is a real pain. The Siege Tanks are a pain, and the Marauders are a pain, but there's not that many of them just quite yet. Mostly it is Marines that you're fighting. Hopefully these Storms will be able to deal with those efficiently enough. And, well, that is already efficiently enough, if you ask me. Nice interference matrix on the War Prism, not allowing any other High Templar to come out. One more Storm could have been the entire end of that army, truly. So, keeping some of his stuff around, does manage to heal up a little bit. Nice Storms once again, and yes, that's quite convincingly cleaning up the attempted push by Innovation. A couple of Zealots warped in, trying to deal with the Medevacs, dropping off a couple of boys there. Another attack on the left side. Looks like Stats was a bit careful with his warp in. Still had a couple available here with a mine in the ground. Is going to get picked off as well eventually. Only 4 probes falling. Very well done there by Stats. Gets himself in a good position here overall, I'd say. What Prism with the 2 Archons. He drops the 2 Archons. Maybe a little bit frightened that he may run after those Medevacs and suddenly the Medevacs are unloaded. Snipe the War Prism, right? Makes sense to me. Looks like the Archons, though, do take the favorable trade overall. The units were already quite tapped out of their HP. Zealot run by with the Starkers here, getting on top of the SCVs. Those SCVs are not being run away. In the command center here, actually, well, there's only 6 Starkers. It's not that much damage, but if it starts burning here. SCVs, oh, it does fall. It does, in fact, fall. Zealots absolutely everywhere. Counterattack from Innovation across the map with just a small amount of units. The shield battery alone, apparently enough to deal with the 3 Marauders there. And GG is called. Innovation taps out. Stats very quick return here and makes it a 1-1 series. Very well done indeed. Stats tying it all up. And brings us into game number 3 with a lot of excitement and hope for a potential series that goes quite long here. Stats and Innovation. I don't get to cast stats that much, actually. Not live, anyway. Innovation we used to have a lot more of, but it seems like we kind of filled more Terran slots with Bjorn recently, perhaps. If that is fair to say. I mean, Bjorn is an absolute fan favorite, and he just gets a lot of viewers. So, anyway, regardless, Innovation here is still an absolute beast, as he is proving, going 1-to-1 versus Stats, and after Stats, 3 versus 1ing Innovation, of course. Oh, sorry, a Bjorn to begin with. So this could be a nice little redemption arc for Innovation, perhaps, as as it comes to this. You see, why are you getting Bjorn to play these games? I'm much better. You can beat Stats easily. The best of 7. But yeah, he still has a bit to go. Top right side, there he is, the blue Protoss. Afrika Freakses. Stats. Bottom left side, the red Terran. Fighting for the KC Gamers, he is Innovation. Do you know why the Into the Alpha X series got pushed all the way back to March 14th? That's probably because there's like other tournaments going along. We've been seeing quite a bit of viewer fatigue overall in the viewer numbers during the Katowice event. Overall, people just, even if you are outside of the Katowice hours, right, still a lot of people just not that all interested at that moment in time. I want to say, maybe that feels unfair to say, that they're probably still interested, but they just watched Katowice, you know, and then to go back to like a online cup that is for, you know, just a day or two. Yeah, sometimes you just like, alright, well, time for something other than StarCraft. We just watched the entire day. And we still gotta watch tomorrow and the day afterwards as well. You know? But yeah, usually because of stuff like that, we tend to push things a little bit backwards. Alright, Innovation here, once again, kind of playing this matchup the similar way. There's 2 supply depots at the front, this time around 2 barracks alongside the middle of the map. There's a proxy going down for Stats as well, but he's also, incorporating a Nexus here, right? So he's investing a lot more. Innovation's attack is going to hit a lot sooner and a lot harder overall. This will be a gateway, alright. Oh my god. Oh my god, you're joking. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Guys, what just happened was, well, we can't see it right now anymore, but the probe that was doing the gateway, it moved back, it saw the 2 gateways, and Innovation just tapped out. It's just like, alright, GG. A probe ran in, saw the barracks being built, Innovation saw this, and he's like, alright, never mind. Never mind then. We're out. Interesting. Quite interesting. I mean, if he was proxying a Twilight Council, that could still work, right? Theoretically. If you have like 3 barracks kind of going ham. But then again, if it was a Twilight... Oh no, if it was a Twilight... I mean, why would you proxy a Twilight Council with a Dark Shrine? So if it was a Dark Shrine build, then the probe would not have moved backwards. Stargate? Stargate Oracle would do well against those Marines as well, actually. So that would also be a problem. Especially if you have the time to prep shield batteries. I mean, still kind of early, GG. Yeah, I agree. I agree. I'm just trying to run out the situations here. And I mean, it is... A lot of it is pretty bad for Innovation. But, I mean, you can imagine it's still kind of working out in his favor as well, right? Maybe we need a bit of a slip-up from stats, but ultimately, I mean, slip-ups happen. They do happen. Even from the best of players, right? Such as stats. We're going into the next game. Game number 4. That one really, really flying on by. Didn't even really get to commentate anything. Except for saying that there were barracks being built on the map. And a gateway as well, I suppose. But, yeah, alright. Well, anyway, we're moving on forwards. Game number 4. Suddenly back with a point lead. After tying it all up again. In the bottom left side, the blue Protoss player fighting for the Afrika Freaks. Stats. Finding himself back on top again, wearing the crown. After simply scouting this man's 2 proxy barracks. The red Terran for Kaisi Gaming. Did he give up too early, or is he just conserving some energy? Innovation. We don't know. Let's keep an eye out on what his plan is for this round. I mean, if he goes again for the double supply depot here and SCVs running across the map, then I guess we'll know, but I would be surprised. Oh, double gas. Alright. Quick double gas. Could this be quick benchies? Well, a man can hope, right? A little girl can dream, alright? That's going Nexus before the Cyber Core. So he is delaying any type of Stalker potential, you know. Or unit potential, for that sake. It is a very long map, though, to be fair as well. Single SCV coming across. Could still be a Hellion drop or something like that as well, right? We're not seeing a factory being built here. So maybe he's planning to proxy the... What is going on? Okay, no, it is going to be in the main base. SCV just coming in as the scout. Trying to make things look normal. And proxied gateway from stats. No pylon being scouted, or well, second pylon being seen here by Innovation. Makes him already question, is there a proxy going around town? Is Giganata filled with some hidden Protoss bases? Ooh, that probe taking the right side ramp, or the left side for us, but the correct one is what I wanted to say. The Reaper still finds him though, unfortunately for him, and does still get spotted. Should give Innovation a little bit of an insight as to where the proxy should be. Right, kind of should know. Alright, the probe came from the left side, kind of from the top side of the map. There might be something built up there. Or he just assumes that the probe was looking for proxies of his own. Alright, will be quick Widow Mine drops here for innovation. It's a bit of a hit or miss strategy, as you know, you are banking a lot on delaying your command center quite heavily. And stats. I mean, he is just looking like he wants to get some adept pressure going. I'm not even sure if he realizes that there's no natural base. No, he still has not scouted anything for innovation. Innovation making use of it now, just going one base entirely. That's a Reaper in the main. Ooh, good block there with the probe. That's a dead Reaper now because of it. Very cool stuff. In come the, well, Adepts. Adepts realizing, wait a moment. Oh, this is odd. Get the Widow Mines, both of them. Ooh. Only a single Widow Mine in that medevac. This is rough. This is the man going Nexus before his Cybercore on the other side of the map with 4 Adepts. Killing almost everything. 3 Stalkers. 3 Stalkers coming in now as well. The 1 Widow Mine finally arrives at the main base here, but it will only get 1 probe. Needs to get picked up again. Ouch. Ouch. Bunker is set up, but I mean, he doesn't have control of his natural base right now. It's going to be a tough fight to get the low ground at this point in time. Until he has the siege tank, maybe that will, well, that should help things out quite nicely. The Hellion trying to run by to get a good scout off, but gets picked off by the Stalkers and the Adepts waiting outside. Yeah, instead just grabbing himself a 3rd base. I mean, innovation. I'm not entirely certain what the follow-up plan is here, but it needs to be one hell of a plan. That's just sad. That's just so sad, isn't it? The desperate attempts. Please, please. Give me your probes. Uh-oh. I mean, that's okay. It's gonna cancel the shade, right? Good scout, though. Trying to pick off the Marines wherever you can. Another attempt by the Adepts to go into the main base here. The Liberator. Ooh, good early spot there by Stats as well. Again, only losing 1 probe. Every single time. The 1 probe lost Stats is his nickname by now. Stats 1 probe. One probe stats. Nah, stats 1 probe sounds a lot cooler for some reason. Almost like we're calling him a pope. Yeah, those Protoss units are still in front of your front door. Innovation unsieging a couple of siege tanks there. Feels quite uncomfortable with the gateway forces in front. You know what? I feel uncomfortable with him. Man, almost 20 worker lead here for Stats. A advantage that almost seems insurmountable now for innovation. We'll have to find something here very soon. Very soon. Doesn't get any of those gateway forces either as he pushes out. Even amount of resources lost, kind of, but look at that resources income though for Stats. More than 20 workers ahead right now. Oh, there we go. A couple of gateway forces finally being picked off. Storm's coming up for Stats as well, and with his mainly Marine army for innovation, I'm worried. I am quite worried. We may get to see a quick 3-1 here coming up for Stats. As that Storm is about to finish up, as that attack will arrive at the 3rd base. We got ourselves not that many High Templar though. It looks like one of them used some feedback as well, as it is quite low in the energy, or maybe it was just spawned in, who knows. thought it spawned in with a little bit more energy, but maybe I'm wrong. Storm, 7 seconds. Perfect timing here, it seems. Charge, still 10 seconds, though. Needs a moment. And there's one storm. That's quite a nice one, indeed. Not a lot of Marines going down, though, but a lot of them into the red. Stats losing some workers overall. I think the Liberator repositioned and was taken out eventually. Mionarchon, big Zealot run by now coming on by into Innovation's natural base. It's nothing here. 2 Marines and 2 Widowmines. That's not enough to hold back those Zealots. Third base trying to be constructed as well at the same time, but looks like, yeah, that's going to get scouted as well, actually. Zealots now on top of the SCVs. They are not having the best of time here, as that's still looking very sharp back at home. Hopefully the run by with the medevacs will not come to harm him too much. Nice storm right there. Still finding a good clump of units, and more storms. Going to be able to take out a medevac as 2 medevacs. Make that 2. Innovation not finding anything with a 3 medevac attempt. Ooh, Observer does get taken out there. That's quite nice. Do we even have an armory, though? No, we do not. So, eesh. Right, this may be the end of times here for this game right here. The Stats is once again pushing in, killing absolutely everything. Innovation, not much to fall back onto. GG is called, and Stats finds himself on the match point. All of a sudden, instead of tied up, we have quite the deficit in points, and a player ready to take it all. Another player having to make a comeback of 3 wins in a row. Seems quite a rough one. He started off so well, winning that first game, but ever since then, it just was not meant to be anymore for Innovation here. It seems the surprising thing as well, kind of being that first game, Innovation opening up the most regular, as he did out of all the other games. Trying maybe to be a bit too fancy with the aggression here. Not finding enough to really, you know, have it be worth it. Stats and Innovation. Looks like they are ready to go. Go and ready being spammed. This looks like a mismatch. Honestly, I mean, after that first game, I thought this would be a good one, right? Innovation, he still has it in himself to beat Stats, but oh man, it just needs to come into fruition a bit more so in the upcoming games here. Otherwise, we're gonna be done quite quickly. Not into the too far future, at least. Oh well. I mean, he did a reversal sweep as well against DRG. Let's remember that. He did that today, so... Just needs 3 wins in a row. He already managed to do it once, right? This top right side, Terran, fighting for Kaisi Gaming Innovation. Bottom left side, the blue Protoss player fighting for the Afrika Freaks. Stats. Can he still pull something out of his hat here? Innovation. He's been showing a lot of different builds, but none of them really finding a lot of success here with Stats. Not even finding a lot of traction. Some of them already failing just because they got scouted, so... Or at least in his eyes, right? Immediately tapping out. I would say you consider that the strategy failed at that point, if you tap out. Or maybe your strategy didn't fail. That was just a coincidental occurrence happening, making the strategy invalid at the time. Yeah, let's say that. Innovation playing its standards here, though. Not even going for the double supply depot, as we have been seeing 4 games in a row right now. No longer tempting fate with the mind games, I suppose. or the aggressive place. This is going to play a bit more standard here. That's what I was hoping to see from Innovation. These 2 base timing attacks can still be quite lethal. These 3 base timing attacks just as much. And that is where he truly shines. That is where it really comes, you know, the moment for him to step into the spotlight and take some victories here, hopefully. Alright, finds exposed probe line for a moment here. One adept does come out of the gateway and gets himself in between the probes and the Reaper there. Jumping in front of the gunfire. Very brave soul indeed. Though he knows he will win the 1v1 ultimately. he will be fine. Might take some damage overall, but yeah. Yeah, we'll be okay. Right. Second base into the orbital as we have Widow Mines on the production tab here for Innovation. Once more attempting the Widow Mine drops. Stats very quickly here. We'll soon we'll have the choice as well, of course. Twilight Council or a Stargate. It looks like it will be a Stargate right now. That's what I'm guessing. Still not seeing any movements. Yeah, so probably a wait a moment. What's this? Oh, it's a gateway, right. Stargate? Nothing? Twilight? No, nothing. Nothing. He's just warping in units offensively. Alright. Fair enough. I mean, it could very well work. There's only 3 Marines alive now. The Widow Mine's trying to scramble into a place where they can actually do something. Oh boy, that's not going to live. Needed a repair. GG is called once again. Just like that. Stats takes the series.